Hey guys, it's Johnny FD, and I want to show you how I went from having $1,000 in my bank account to over having $500,000, and in these 4 steps that you can do for whatever business that you are currently in. So I'm actually in Bali, Indonesia right now, and it's raining a bit. I'm at my villa, so I'm dry, but I can't use the pool. But this is a great life, and I want to show you exactly how I got there. So first, the 4 quadrants really quick are your first business, which is your foundation. Figuring out how to double that, the income from that, either the profits or just kind of the value of that business, how to scale it, really bring it 10x higher, and then how to actually save enough of that money where you can have money in your bank and not just have revenue or just not just have money in the business on paper. So let's start with your first business. You need to have some kind of core foundational business. For me, the criteria was it has to be location independent because I was traveling when I first started. I was in Thailand, but I wanted to also be able to travel. So I would highly recommend, for many reasons, that it should be location independent. It makes it easier to scale. It makes it easier to sell later on. It makes it just a million times easier to manage. You can have remote workers. There's no reason not to have a location independent business as your foundation. 100% do that. I also recommend having physical products be your first business. It's a lot easier to wrap your head around something and sell one of these Chase lounges or just something that you would find in a villa, for example, or in a business or a construction site, whatever it is, some kind of physical thing that someone can tangibly hold, than it is to try to sell them a software product or a tangible, like an intangible good, like something, even an ebook. And obviously, there's plenty of people who make a ton of money in software businesses or creating apps or things like that. But it's just easier for most people to start with a physical product. For me, it was through the dropshipping route. For you, it might be something else. But if you want some ideas, listen to the Travel Like a Boss podcast. I've had 150 episodes on and over 100 different business models ranging from Amazon FBA to other types of e-commerce, to the type of dropshipping I do, to the type of dropshipping other people do, to private labeling products and Kickstarter, whatever it is. There's so many different business models. Choose one that resonates with you, that you, number one, either have the budget for, or you just kind of feel like this is something that is going to work well for you, and go for that. Have that be your core. So next is 2x growth. So what you want to do is you want to optimize a profit for that business. For me, it was pretty easy to calculate the conversion rates. If I was getting less than 1%, that means that for whatever money I was spending on ads, I was getting, let's say, 1 customer out of 100 clicks. So I'm spending a lot of money on ads. By increasing your conversion rate to 2%, you essentially double your amount of customers. And you would think it would double your profit, but it actually gives you even more profit when you do the calculations, because you're spending the same amount of money on ads, but you're doubling the profit, which means your ads are actually costing you half that amount. So it's a crazy formula. I don't want to get into it, but this is how you double your profits from an existing store. Another way you can do it is reducing expenses. So instead of me trying to, let's say, with my ads, get more customers or make more money from it, you can figure out ways to streamline that, to target better. Maybe try Facebook advertising, creating a lookalike audience, maybe with Google ads instead of using text ads, maybe using shopping ads, whatever it is, whatever your business is, figure out a way where you can reduce your overall expenses. And that's another good thing about being location dependent and bootstrapping, is we don't have all this overhead of offices or inventory and things like that. Another way to double your profit is to double your business by duplicating it. So if you noticed, most of the income streams I have, if you look at johnnyfd.com and you look at my income reports, I have pretty much 2 of everything. So I have 2 Kindle books, I have 2 dropshipping stores, or I had 2 dropshipping stores. I have 2 of this, 2 of that, 2 of that. And the reason for that is once you've been through the process once, it's a lot easier to start the second one because you already know what you're doing. But the reason why I'm going to get into and next is you don't want to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these businesses, is most of these end up taking a lot of your time, and you kind of lose that excitement of the new business. So I don't normally recommend you start more than 2 of any one thing, but this is how you double the profit. How do you get to that point? So next we have the big scaling part. How do you 10x that profit? So if you went from I'm making $1,000 a month and you doubled it, now you're making now you're making $2,000 a month. how do you get to the 6-figure mark? And a lot of people don't realize that it's really hard to scale a small business, especially something that you're running from your laptop, location-dependent business, to something over 6 figures. But there are ways to do it. So instead of, you can settle and just be happy making $2,000 to $4,000 a month through your e-commerce store or whatever business you're in, or you can figure out, okay, how can I scale that? One way is to hire employees, and they can either be remote workers, VAs, or they can be, full-time employees. Big companies like Wayfair and Hayneedle are drop shipping based e-commerce businesses. And the only difference between them and me is they decided we're going to scale the crap out of this. We're going to hire hundreds of employees and have a real office and treat this like a real, full-time business. While people like me are hanging out in places like Bali and just sipping on coconuts and kind of just working, the bare minimum to be able to pay bills and get by. But if that is the route you wanted to go and you wanted to 10x your income by hiring employees, do it. The other way to do it is to franchise it, and franchises are kind of like mini partnerships that they pay to come into. A good example is someone I had on the podcast recently. They bought into a food delivery app where someone actually created an app where, it's almost kind of like Uber Eats or Foodpanda, wherever you live. But what they did was they sold a franchise and say, well, this area or the city, any person who purchases food online, this is your territory, you can deal with that. And that's not the type of business I want to get into, but franchising works. And this is how people make a lot of money. I mean, Ray Kroc didn't make that much money on the first McDonald's that he bought, but by him franchising it more, that's how he became as rich as he did. An easier way, without if you don't want to get into the physical business or deal with partners, is to have a virtual partnership, usually through an affiliate model. So this is what I personally use to monetize my blogs, my email list, my books, my podcasts, and I teach all that inside my course, Earnest Affiliate. But basically what affiliate partnerships is people give you commission for referring them to the product. So they handle the checkout system, they handle the customer service, they handle the product delivery, everything. All you do is you send them that direction. So if you wanted to buy this mic, I'll send you an Amazon, who's my affiliate partner. If you wanted to buy the web hosting that I use for this website or my other websites, I might send you to SiteGround, for example. So this is how you 10x your profits. So you had made $1,000 a month from your gross, like your baseline business. You doubled it by either increasing the profits for that, or duplicating the business, and now you are scaling it up massively through one of these. And that's exactly what I did with my businesses. Is I figured out, hey, I can't be the one managing 50 different stores, but if I get 20% of the hosting for people who are, 50 people that are running the stores, that's quite a bit of money that I get each and every single month, as long as they stay in business and they are profitable and they're doing well and they want to continue using, whatever services that I had recommended to them to build my store. So 10x scaling is great if you want to give back. You want to either create a course to teach it, or you just want to recommend people through a blog or something what they should be using. And the last quadrant is the 75% rule. It doesn't matter how much money your business or you personally bring in, how much income you have. If you're not keeping it and you're expending all that and these are all expenses, you're still going to be broke at the end of the day. So I recommend everyone to bootstrap your business, keep your expenses low, and invest 75% of the profits. Either reinvesting into the business to grow the business more, or physically investing the profits into something like index funds or real estate or whatever it is. We talk a lot about it on my other podcast, Invest Like a Boss. You can check that out. But take that money and just stash it away. Keep it somewhere that, hopefully can grow. But even if you just put it in a savings account, instead of spending that money buying stupid stuff you don't need, or upgrading your house, upgrading your car just because you're making more money, take 75% of the profits, put it into something. And if you really want a big bump, flip your business. And if you don't want to work more anymore, you want to free up time to get something else, or you just want the money up front, you could sell most businesses for between 20 to 30x your monthly profits. So for my dropshipping stores, I sold both of them at 27x profits, which means I get paid for 2.5 years up front based on past performance in my store. So guess what I did with 75% of that money? Actually, 100% of that money I put into investments. So I just wrote a post on johnnyfd.com called Retiring at 35. And this is exactly how I did. These are the 4 things that I did to retire young and wealthy. So I have $500,000 in my bank account now, and it's because of these 4 things. And if you take a look at any of my bank accounts, 4 years ago exactly today, I was living in Thailand. I was broke. I had like $1,000 in my total net worth. And this has been an amazing journey, and this is why I'm so happy to be able to share it with you. If you want to keep following, check out johnnyfd.com, and I will see you at the next milestone. For me, it was $500,000. I'm coming after you $1 million soon.